Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, well, good evening to you. A nice, beautiful sunset out there tonight. SN on our roofing dog on Flooring American Camera in Danville. Enjoy that now because changes are on the way. We've got, well, a little bit of cloud cover trying to move in, and what looks to be rain, but a lot of it evaporating and not reaching the ground. We'll have a better chance of rain by the end of the weekend. Temperatures are in the low 50s. It's already cooling down, and it's also quite breezy. Look at the winds gusting at 28 miles an hour in Effingham, and the winds get even stronger for tomorrow. Here's your evening planner. Look at the temperatures tumbling. 41 at 11 o'clock, and we're going down to near freezing again in some areas. A frost advisory in effect. That's just one of several advisories and warnings that we've got. We'll talk about what all of those are coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
COVID-19 numbers are once again spiking. Which counties are asking for help to try and bend the curve? And it was billed as a possible treatment for the coronavirus. What health officials are now saying about remdesivir as a cure.
And tourism has taken a major hit because of the pandemic. What central Illinois city believes it's now ready to bounce back?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Response to COVID has been very challenging for all of us at every level, whether it's federal, state, or even at the local level for us.
It's one of the biggest hot spots in the state. Now officials are calling on the public to flatten the curve. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Christian and Montgomery County are seeing the biggest rises in COVID cases. But it could be a while before the community sees any increased rules to slow the spread. WCIA 3's Cole Hankey is live from our Capitol newsroom. So, Cole, what did public officials have to say today?
Well, Jennifer, there were no new rules announced. There were no new policies put into place. Instead, public officials just tried to focus on making sure the community knew just how daunting this problem is. The pandemic has been going on for 7 months in the United States, but over half of the cases in Christian and Montgomery County have come in the last 30 days. Today, Christian County health officials joined hospital workers in Pana to talk about how the counties need to move forward.
If our businesses and community leaders and citizens join us in minimizing this risk and complying with the current COVID health code, as they do with other public health codes, for their families' health and safety, our ability to return to life as we knew it pre-COVID will be sooner rather than later.
Neither county is putting in new rules or issuing citations to businesses that aren't following the rules. The public health department says they don't have the staffing to do that. Instead, they're calling on business owners to do it themselves.
We understand the economic importance to the parties involved. Unfortunately, these factors should never supersede the importance of our community's health and safety.
The Chrismont EMA says there has been no communication with the state at all about increased mitigations. Those won't come unless all of Region 3 reaches warning level. The county officials say they will not step in before the state does right now.
That could happen here. That's the last thing we want to happen.
The increased numbers are threatening more than just businesses, though. Taylorville School District wants to see the positivity rate drop below 8% to see a return to the classroom.
We have been programming for students and taking safety precautions and being pretty accurate in our way that we are monitoring the cases and quarantining and keeping people safe.
Christian County's positivity rate is currently over 10%. Montgomery County's, they're sitting at over 5%, but they are at warning level for their number of cases per 100,000 people. Region 3 is sitting at just over 6%, so just over a full percentage point below warning level for the state. Jennifer?
All right, Cole, thank you. The Sangamon County Jail is seeing an outbreak in cases, mainly among staff. 6 staff members and an inmate have tested positive. The sheriff locked down the jail so no visitors are allowed, and there is limited interaction with inmates. 6 staff members are also quarantining after exposure to the other officers during a prisoner transfer.
Staff, we had 4 of them on transport together. They were in the same vehicle, so we actually had 1 of those test positive, and the other 4 are out due to the exposure.
Staff members who were exposed were transferring inmates to Statesville. The sheriff notified the Department of Corrections those inmates will be quarantined before going to the facility.
It's another record-setting day when it comes to COVID-19 cases. The state is reporting over 4,500 new ones. That makes more than 336,000 total across Illinois. The 7-day positivity rate is now over 5%. 38 more people have died. 3 were in Christian, Ford, and Sangamon counties. Overall, more than 9,100 people have died from COVID-19 in Illinois. A new study is casting doubt on a drug used to treat COVID-19 patients. This was done by the World Health Organization. They say the drug remdesivir has, quote, little or no effect on severe cases. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us live in the newsroom. Courtney, some area hospitals don't agree with that.
That's right, Jessica. I talked to a doctor at St. Mary's in Decatur, and he says they plan to keep using it. Remdesivir is an antiviral drug, and it helps kill the virus in the early stages. It was first developed to use against Ebola, but Dr. Mark Shelton at St. Mary's says it's also great against COVID-19 because it lowers the amount of time patients spend in the hospital.
If you're sick and in the hospital, having 5 days less of hospitalization and less of suffering is a huge positive benefit, and that led to our use.
Shelton says he's skeptical about the way the World Health Organization did this study. He says it's most important that the drug is used on patients in the early stages of the virus. If not, it won't work as well. The downside of remdesivir is there's no pill for it. You have to be hooked up to an IV. It's also expensive, but Shelton says they plan to keep using it because of how effective it is. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thank you.
Several people were taken to the hospital after a crash involving 2 cars and a bus in Decatur. It happened this morning at the intersection of Oakland and McKinley. Police say the bus didn't properly yield to the cars. One car tried to avoid the crash, but the bus ended up going over it. That vehicle then hit another car, and the bus hit some trees. The bus driver was taken to the hospital and later released. Some people in one of the cars was hurt, but will survive. The bus driver was ticketed. U of I police are investigating after a student had his identity hacked for thousands of dollars. Police say someone used the student's name, birth date, and social security number to buy a cell phone contract. The student discovered the identity theft when he found a credit report. It showed he owed more than $7,000 to the phone company. The Cerro Gordo School District is battling against cyber attacks. There have been several attacks since they've moved to remote learning. They cause increased traffic, and that can overwhelm a website. They're disrupting students' ability to work from home. The superintendent says they're working with Quality Network Solutions to limit the attacks.
We're just a week away. Which Illini you can look for to make an impact as the season kicks off?
And also tonight.
I think in a year and a half, 2 years, we might even be better than we are now.
Tourism has taken a major hit with COVID-19. How one central Illinois county is looking to change that.
And a beautiful sunset out there tonight, as you can see, on our Roofing Dog iNet. Flooring America camera, I should say. Got to get the right one on there. Let's recap today. For the high temperature, well, it struggled a bit. Readings only made it up to the upper 50s. When we come back, there's a lot going on. Frost advisories, wind advisories, red flag warnings. We'll talk about it next.